You ever felt like no matter what you do, you're spinning your wheels? You can't stop that loop that keeps going on in your mind. Like you're living the same year over and over again. Well, my friends, I want to tell you today that you're not broken. You're just running on old habits that aren't serving the new you. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through 4 powerful steps to reset your life when you're feeling stuck. And then at the end, I'm going to share with you one hidden secret that I've shared with my clients that have helped them get unstuck and begin to build momentum for their future. So grab a notebook, get ready to take a deep breath, and let's begin to build your future that begins today. The real reason you're feeling stuck, it's not that you have lack of motivation. It's just that you're not disciplined in the right direction. So what we want to do is we want to create a system log. We want to begin to create a system log that shows you the direction that you want your life to go. Your habits, right? What you do every day, your routines, what you begin to kind of build for yourself on that day-to-day basis. And then your belief system. Your belief system is huge because what you believe in is what's going to show up. And if you're not believing in the outcomes that you're going for, if you're not believing that you can change or you can shift, my friend, you're going to miss the opportunity to do that in your life. Because you can't live your life on an old code, right? And we always try to recreate this life. We always try to shift into this new perspective, but we try to use it using this old code. And we have to learn to rewrite that code, and we have to learn to go, okay, I'm going to begin to understand where I want my life to go. I'm going to create those goals. I'm going to create those strategies. And to get to those goals and strategies, I need new habits, I need new routines, and I need a new belief system. So that's what we're going to kind of work through today and what this coaching and the system that I build is all about. So what I want you to do today is I want you to write down one thing. Write down one thing that's not serving you. Write down one habit, one routine that's not getting you to that destination. Because my friends, awareness is what brings the change to your life. Because if you don't know you're doing something, how do you begin to change that? If as you're driving down the road, you don't understand that your rear tire has blown out or it's got a flat, it's not fully flat because it is sometimes working. How do you know that if you're not aware of that you need to change it? So my friends, awareness is the first step that you need to begin to create those new habits, new decisions, new life. Now, the next one is to interrupt your pattern. Now, we all have patterns in our life. Most of them call routines. We get up in the morning, we do the pattern. We put our pants on one leg at a time. Most of us, I know some people sit on the bed and pull up and then we pull 2 on at a time. So we're all unique in that specific way. And that's a reminder for you. But we oftentimes we react to situations. We react to things that are coming into our life that we're like, what is going on? How did this come in? How did this begin to create who I am today? And when we begin to stop those reactions, you do this long enough so that your life will begin to bring a new pattern. You stop it long enough to go, okay, you know what? That pattern's not working for me anymore. That situation's not working for me anymore. So what I need to do is I need to shift. But if you're not aware that you're going down the wrong pattern, if you're not aware that that's the direction that you want to go to in your life, how do you stop it? I want you to try one of these 3 little micro techniques that I teach. One is a 24-hour digital detox. But wait, don't do it until you're done this video. I want you to finish this. But start that digital detox. Get your mind free of distractions, of things that are not serving you. A second thing that you could do is an afternoon walk. Right? If the weather's nice, if it's not nice, bundle up, whatever it is. But go for a 10-15 minute walk. Again, no distractions. Don't put headphones in as you're walking. Just kind of listen to the birds, listen to the cars, listen to whatever is going on around you. If you can, do it in nature. If you can get out of a city, if you're in the middle of a city, go to a park and just listen to what's going on around you. Listen to the people talking, whatever it is, and bring your awareness into that area. And the third thing is to do like a silent morning routine. To add, 5 to 10 minutes of just sitting quietly with yourself, with your thoughts. When I do this with a pad of paper. I just sit quietly, and when thoughts kind of bump into my head, I write them down, and then I move on with my silence. And then once this is done, I have a whole bunch of notes of the things that I'm kind of working on in my mind, because your mind will show up when you're silent to it. But if you're always talking, if you're always moving into something, your mind's not going to show up. It's not going to help you to bring that awareness into your life, to change your habits, your routines, and create that life that you want. Because my friends, you can't interrupt what you don't face. You can't change what you don't see. And this pattern interruption is going to begin to break that cycle, and it's going to begin to create that outcome that you're looking for and going after that life that you truly want. So I wanted to just quickly jump into a concept that I teach my coaching clients, and it's called the Table of Life method. It's very simple, and it begins to build that outcome and begins to lay the foundation of your life. Because I want you to picture a table, and imagine a table when you remove one leg of it. It still stands, but it's a little wobbly. Now, if you were to move two legs of this table, the structure would fall down. So when you begin to build these 4 areas of your life, and you begin to work on these 4 areas of your life, that is when the table is going to be secure, and then you'll be able to build a higher life on top of each of these tables. Part 1 is your vision. And vision is one of the most important things you can do, because you see where your life is going. If you can't see past where you're going in your life, if you can't see past the things that you're currently living in, you can't begin to create that life that you want. A wish is a goal without action, right? Oh, I wish my life was different. I wish I could move into that next phase. I wish that, I was able to achieve a high level of income. I wish I was able to change the job I was in. But when you don't do any action to that wish, you're not going to be able to change your lives. But you have to begin to see your life in that new way. So number 1 is vision. You want to have that direction that you want to go in your life. And when you have that vision, then you can build onto it with a structure, with different systems, like different habits, routines, disciplines, things like that, which are going to build that next level because you've seen it. Now you're going to build the habits and routines to get you there. And then once you build that, you move into your capacity, which is your energy and your focus. Because my friends, we only have so much energy in our life. And if we're not using that energy appropriately, if we're not using the energy towards the goals, towards the vision, towards the routines and the habits, we're not going to build that life that we want. And then the final one, and the most important one, is accountability and feedback. If you're trying to build your life by yourself, you're going to miss points, right? You're going to miss routines. You're going to miss strategies. You're going to miss just different structures that you need to use to build that area of your life. And like I said, if one of these legs is weak, your life is going to wobble. Your life is going to be out of balance. And when we get life into balance, we get up in the day happy, we enjoy the life that we want, and we create that life that we want. So a couple questions I want to ask you is, 1, which area of your life do you feel right now is unstable? 1 of them, 2 of them, all of them, whichever it is, because when, again, like I just said, when you bring awareness into that part of your life, that's when your life is going to shift into that perspective and into building the one that you want. And now the second question I want to ask is, what are the habits that you're bringing in from your old life into this new life that you want to create that aren't serving you and moving towards that vision, towards that goal that you're going after? Maybe you have lack of self-discipline. Maybe you have, you love scrolling on your phone and you waste time. Maybe procrastinate. Whichever it is, those are habits that you built within yourself. And when you can begin to change those habits, that's when you begin to structure your life and begin to build that life into the one that you truly, truly want. So to get that tabletop working in the direction that you truly want it to work in, you need to have a system reset. right? On the computer, when something's not working right, what do? We hit the reset button, and then it begins to relaunch. It begins to reprogram, and it begins to create the goals that you were looking for. So what we have to do, my friends, is we have to create that system reset so that when you're shifting into that life that you want, you don't carry old habits, you don't carry old routines with you, because that's not going to work. You are creating, from this day forward, my friend, you are creating a new person. You're creating a new version of you. And when you begin to do that, that's when your life is going to begin to create the outcomes and the habits and desires and the passion that you want. But here's one thing that most people do, and I am 100% guilty of doing this, is I try to revamp my whole life. I'm going to be healthier. I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to do this workout routine. I'm going to begin to create this new program. I'm going to begin to do this. And then by the end of day 1 or day 2, I'm like, I am so overwhelmed. I'm so tired. And then I don't do absolutely anything. There's 3 things, my friends. 3 things that change your life, right? Number 1 is discipline. Number 2 is consistency. And number 3 is belief. If you're disciplined in going after what you want to go after, and you're consistently doing it, and you believe that you're going to achieve that goal, my friend, you are going to achieve that goal. It is that easy. The hardest part, I find, is the consistency, right? Yeah, we can all be disciplined, because in the end of building something, in the beginning of building something, we're passionate. We have motivation. We're excited about it. And then after that discipline drops off, we're like, ugh, nothing's going on. Nothing's working in my business. Nothing's working in this relationship that I'm trying to rebuild. Nothing's working in my fitness, right? It takes time. And that's where consistency jumps in. And you keep pushing. You push through those dead zones, as I call them, because nothing's happening. And once you hit that consistency, no matter what the outcome looks like, that's when that belief's going to come in and be like, yeah, I believe I'm going to do this. So I'm going to consistently work towards those goals and those actions that I want. But you have to start small. You have to start by one thing at a time. I always suggest to my clients life is quick, but it's also long. And what do I mean by that? I mean that, I'm in my 40s right now. So I figure I'm going to live sometime around 90, 100. So I have 50 to 60 more years to live. Now, if I were to create one new habit every single month and go, okay, I'm going to build my life. You got 12 new habits. Just think of who you would be. 24 new habits in your life that you have concreted down. You'd be a different person in 2 years. 2 years. That may seem like a long time, and it may not be a long time. But if you consistently are working on these habits, you're going to change into that person you want to be. That's why I try to encourage my clients to go, okay, I'm going to take, it says it takes 21 days to create a habit. So we take that 21 to 30 days to create that habit by doing it consistently every single day. And then you add another habit. And by 90 days, that habit turns into a lifestyle. So by the time you hit 3 months, your first habit has turned into a lifestyle. And then your second habit is beginning to grow, but you're already working on your third habit. If you're following along, I hope you understand the kind of the sequence of doing that. But it doesn't take long, because by the 3rd month, you're technically working on 3 new habits. Just one's almost a lifestyle. So that first month, if you can get through that first month, then it begins to pick up. But you have to start small. You have to start little. You can't overpower yourself, overwhelm yourself, because you're not going to do anything at all, and you're not going to change your life. My friends, momentum doesn't start big. It starts consistent. And that's what we want to do. We want to build that consistency to build that life that we want. So for those of you who are still on, I have that secret, right? That hidden secret I want to show you that has changed so many lives, and it's so simple. Now, if you do this, it's going to give you that outcome. It's going to give you that outcome that you're looking for. What that secret is you don't find clarity. You don't find clarity. You build it through action. You build it through action. My friends, when you really feel stuck, you forget to find that clarity. You forget to find that openness. And my friends, the moment you move, even slightly, that's when your life changes. That's when you see the outcomes. That's when you see that you're able to shift into that life that you truly want to shift. Because when you begin to shift, that's when your brain begins to rewire those neurons into the new pathways that create those habits, routines, and the lifestyle. But I have a letter that I want to read from a coaching client that I've served. She worked through this process and it really helped her. Now, my friend, when you act before you're ready, your brain begins to catch up. And when your brain begins to catch up, that's when your confidence follows, right? You can't build confidence without doing an action that makes you feel not confident, right? You have to get up on stage for those people who aren't confident on stage. You have to ask that person out if you're not confident around other people or building that life, right? Action builds confidence. So here's the letter from my client. Adam, I just want to thank you. When we first started working together, I felt completely lost. I kept waiting for clarity, waiting to feel ready, but nothing ever changed. And you told me that I'll never forget. You don't find clarity, you build it through action. That one sentence changed everything. I decided to stop overthinking and start doing. My first step was simple. I set my alarm 30 minutes early and spent the time journaling instead of scrolling. Within a week, I started to notice patterns in my thoughts. Within a month, I had sense of direction. And within 3 months, I'd started a small project I'd been putting off for years. The funny thing is, the clarity I'd been chasing showed up only after I started moving. Thank you for helping me realize that waiting to feel ready was keeping me stuck. Now, my friends, that letter reminds me and should remind you that clarity doesn't build when we're standing still. It's built through small, consistent action. So every time you take action, every time you move towards your goal, even if it's just a tiny little step, your system will rewire itself towards that process, towards that life, towards the goals that you're trying to achieve. So if you're ready to stop hitting that snooze button, you're ready to take back power, your life, I'm launching an event on January 2nd that I called Optimizing Your 2026. Now, if you're watching this and the event is done, I put the link below and you're able to watch the recording of it. But if you haven't, the registration link will be below. And we're going to just jump into what I mean by all of this. So come register, come show up, because you don't want to wait for that new year to change. You don't want to wait to build that consistency in your life. This is your one life. Why not create it the way that you want it to be created? Why not have those small little habits, those small little routines, and build that tabletop into the life that you truly want to live? So try that, my friends, and we will see you on the next episode, which will come out on Friday. Super excited. Take care of yourself. I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.